Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Happy Friday the 13th. Well, it's now Friday the 14th for you. Look at the sky in the background. Is that not so beautiful? It is also a full moon, a harvest moon. So I'm out in the country. The countryside is completely lit up by the moon, and it is beautiful out. I'm really tired tonight, you guys. So this is not gonna probably be, I don't think this is gonna be a long vlog. Plus, the last two vlogs I've uploaded at really weird times. So it'll give some of you some time to catch up. I think Alex and I are gonna go to brunch tomorrow. And then I don't know what we're gonna do around the house. His brother has a wedding. So his brother, Fufu, is in town for a wedding. And he's going to the wedding, and then they may go out tomorrow night, but like Alex would meet up with him late. So we're gonna hang out and just do stuff around the house till then. And then I think Sunday, we'll probably all get together as a family. That hasn't been discussed or shared yet, but I have a feeling that's probably what will happen. And then we'll maybe watch like Ma or something like that, because we've been wanting to watch that. But my sponsor wanted me to go to see, she has 2 tickets to Rascal Flatts. She wanted me to go tomorrow night, and I just am not in concert mood at all. I'm kind of enjoying just like being around the house. Tonight I did a live stream, and tonight I did a live stream, and I had the I had an apple candle going in the kitchen, and then like on the candle warmer, and then I also had candle waxes, and it's like harvest fall or something, harvest time or harvest fall. They smell like apples, or smell really, really good. And so the whole house smells like apples and smells like fall. And it was interesting earlier when I was like driving, leaves were like blowing across the street, and it was beautiful outside. Very fallish, very Halloween, very Friday the 13th-ish, whatever that means. I turned on AMC tonight, American Movie Classics, is that what it stands for? And they were showing Friday the 13th 1 and Friday the 13th 2. I haven't really seen I don't remember them real well. Like, as I was watching Friday the 13th 2, it was at the beginning, it was like in the first half hour, I think. I didn't really remember a whole lot of it. I was like, I don't know that I remember this movie a lot. So, today, what was today? Friday. I got up. I went back to bed for a couple hours, and then I got up, and I just kind of like cleaned up and did some stuff around the house, and started some laundry, just, you know, just boring stuff. And then I went and got my coffee. Oh, it's at home. I've been taking it inside, obviously, when I film my videos, and then finishing it and just leaving it on the counter for the next day. But I went and got coffee. And then I went to Burger King to do, I was going to do a review of these, what do you call them, smoothies that they have, but apparently they don't have them anymore, the guy said. Now they only have, like, frozen Cokes and things like that. So I got that, and I compared it to the vanilla iced coffee, which was actually really good. Somebody that watches my review channel sent me, they made their own drink at Starbucks with their barista because of a drink that I made on my channel. It's like the counterpart to it. So I'm gonna actually have that made, and I'm gonna do that review, which is gonna be real fun. I'm excited about that. And then there's also another fast food item that literally just came out, I just saw, and I'm real excited about reviewing that too. So I have 2 reviews to do. That will be fun on that channel. I'm having so much fun on the review channel. I just get to have fun and be my goofy self and come up with whatever during the day that I'm feeling like reviewing. It's just so much fun over there. So yeah, I did that, and then I got back to the house, and it was still real early. So I sat outside with the dogs for a while they ran around, and then I filmed a video from my Peter Monn channel. I filmed my Peterisms video, but I never got my Peterisms video up. It sat there ready to go, and then I went to go do a live stream, and I forgot that I hadn't posted it, and it was late, so I was like, I'll just post it on Saturday. And then I was gonna do my review of Lock Every Door, but by then it was getting later, and I was tired, and I was feeding the dogs, and I was like, you know what, I'll just make it tomorrow. So I'll probably make that tomorrow or Sunday. I have 2 reviews that I have to do of books, so I need to do those. And then, because I talk so much about books on this channel, I'm thinking about doing more and more vlogs, like book vlogs on my my Peter Likes Books channel, and just kind of save some of the book conversation for over there, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be real relaxed. And I said, well, right before Alex went to bed, I went to bed with him, and then I woke up in the middle of the night again. But he was so sweet. I fell asleep, and we both went to bed about 10, it was early, like 10:30 again. And he goes, are you going to bed again? And I said, yeah. And I said, I'm just gonna lay down for a little bit. And so I woke up, and he was like, babe, you have to do your vlog. And I said, I know. I said, just 10 more minutes. I just want to rest for 10 more minutes. And he goes, okay. And then like a half an hour later, he was like, babe, you got to get up and do your vlog. Don't forget to do your vlog. And I was like, I know, I'm going to do it. And so I got up. And the moon was shining so bright in the bedroom. It was so pretty. And all the blankets were kind of pushed into the middle of the bed, like on this like throne, and PP was sitting on like the top of this throne sleeping. He always finds the most comfortable place in the bed to sleep. And then Tucker was like sitting right behind him, and then Boo Radley was curled right up next to me, of course. I realized today, was it today or was it yesterday, when Boo Radley like popped his head up from the bed. I keep on thinking like, so to me, Tucker, since he got his hair cut, looks like a little cow or a little goat. I think it's like a little goat. People keep on saying they think he looks like a goat. So today, I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, but I was like getting ready to take the dogs out, and Boo Radley just like out of the blankets, just his head popped up. I was like, oh my God, Meerkat Manor. That's who he reminds me of. He's so hilarious. He's not used to having his ears not have long, you know, like be long. And so like when he wakes up, he like shakes his head like real hard. And because I think it like irritates him that it's like so short. It's starting to grow out though, and it's cute because the hair that's like growing out, or the fur that's growing out, is like so soft. And they're just such gentle pups. PB coughed quite a bit today. I was worried about that. But then tonight, he seemed to do fine. I don't know what it was today. It's weird. It's like some days he does completely fine, and then there are other days where it was like, there was a night last week when it was like he back-to-back coughed in bed like twice, and then like 5 minutes later coughed again, and I got real worried. I always sit up, and I'm like, you know, pat his back, and I'm like, it's gonna be okay, PP, it's gonna be okay, because I think it like calms him down a little bit. And he's always fine immediately after. He doesn't usually cough a whole lot like during the day, and today, if he coughs at all, like some days he doesn't cough at all. And today I was filming a video and he coughed in the middle of it, which was kind of strange, but he was fine right after. I mean, it's literally like and then he stops and he's fine. Got the pate food, and I've been feeding that to him at different times. Well, today I fed it to him at different times, and that seems to work a little bit. So yeah. And then I did my live stream tonight, and that was a lot of fun. I had a good time in the live stream. So if you came over there and hung out, thank you. That was fun. I had a good time. I went for like an hour and like 17 or 18 minutes, which I haven't done a longer, like usually I'm keeping them at about 45 minutes these days and when I go on. So I did it for like an hour and 18, 17 minutes or something like that. It was fun. I had a good time. I love doing the live streams. Bought the new book for the book club, my friend Anna, and I haven't started it yet. I bought that this morning. What else? I'm so tired tonight. Oh, I did some recovery stuff today that I had to do. I had some sobriety commitments today. Alex told me tonight that this is the last full moon that will fall on Friday the 13th until like 2023. Is that true? And it kind of made me really sad. I don't know why. I got like real sad about it. Because you never know, you know, how long you're going to be here. I think it's about being grateful for the time you have. I remember when my uncle was alive, you know, my uncle loved to watch TV shows and read books, and he would read series. Like he read the, oh, what's his name? The Bosch. I can't think of his first name. Harry Bosch series that Michael Connelly wrote. And I remember saying to my uncle something the last year that he was alive. I asked him something about the reading, and he was like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. I don't read a lot of books anymore. He was like, because I don't know that I'm going to be around for the next one to come out or the next season of a TV show to come out. And I can remember thinking to myself at the time how sad that was, you know, that you would get to a point where you didn't even know that you were going to be out to see what, you were going to be alive to see what happens in the next season, you know? I mean, but the reality is that could be true for all of us, right? But I just think it's a sad realization, you know, of like, I don't know that I'm going to be here for the next time. And, so I don't know, like whenever I hear that, like, oh, it's the last, you know, full moon on a Friday the 13th that we're going to have until 2023, that's a long time away. In 2023, I will be 51, you guys. That's crazy. That almost kind of seems surreal to me. You know, I was real excited about this whole, like, 30th, you know, high school reunion thing. One of my friends from high school, she watches this vlog every day, so you know who you are. But she, and I love her, and we used to have so much fun in high school together, but she's a year below me, and, or she was a year below me, and, so she wouldn't necessarily know these people, but there's like this whole like group conversation going on of everybody that's gonna like go to the reunion, and you know, and they're like tagging each other on Facebook and stuff, and I was real excited to go. This is where like my insecurities from back then come into play. Because I was like really excited to go. Remember, like there was like a video like last week sometime when I said, I posted on there like, oh, Romeo and Michelle would be shook, I'm there. And I was like real excited. I was like, I can't wait to go to this thing, you know? And then it was like, they started, like everybody started having like conversations in there. Like, oh, is so-and-so going? And then they would respond and be like, yeah, I'm gonna be there. And then they did this thing where they tagged like, who's in charge of putting it on? And it's literally like these 5 guys that all gave me total hell in high school. And I literally like saw it and I was like, I don't know, it took me to a weird place. I don't even know how to explain it, you know, and it was like, I like went to each of their Facebooks and I was like, they all look so old, like, I mean, they really had, like, it's not them today that bothers me, and I'm sure they would be very nice to me, you know, today. It's like, I mean, we're not 15 anymore, you know what I mean? But I still just like this one in there. And you know what the weirdest thing was? We're friends on Facebook. Like, I didn't know I was friends with him on Facebook. I don't know when that happened. And he lives right around me, and I like never I never ran into him or anything. I just kind of put two and two together and could figure out where he lived, you know? And I was like, I don't know, it was weird. Like, he was one of the people that was like the hardest on me in high school. And I mean, I'll go to my reunion, but because there's a lot of people there that I want to see. And when I didn't go last time, there were a lot of people that were like, I really wanted you to go, and I was really upset that you weren't there. And so I don't know if I've talked about this, but so I went to my 10-year reunion, and I went with my friend that we had gone to like elementary, junior high, high school, college, graduate school together. And she and I went together, and it was just a shit show. It was like, I remember we like rode up in the elevator with this girl that we had gone to like all the way from kindergarten all the way through high school with. And she and her husband were like, she was like in a dress, like a serious dress, and he was like in a suit. And I was like, this is probably when I looked my best, okay? I mean, seriously looked really, really good. I was working out every day, and my hair was like real dark, and I had like a faux hawk, and we decided to go at the last minute, and I thought it was gonna be real casual. So I wore like boot cut jeans with like these like work boots, and then I was real into this whole Western look back then. And then I had like, my hair was all like jagged, and I was like tan because it was in the summer, you know. And I had on like this Carhartt t-shirt, and I remember like, and my friend, she went, and she was very much like in high school, like long black t-shirts and like black leggings, and then like those black shoes that had the little bows on them, and then she'd always have like some peace sign necklace, and her hair was like purple and stuff. And she was very much like, she had kind of like, she had upgraded a little bit to like, I don't know, the Versace sunglasses, and you know, her hair looked fantastic and all this kind of stuff. Nobody knew who we were. Like, she kept on saying to me, she's like, nobody knows who we are. I was like, I know, like literally nobody knew who we were. So we're in this elevator on the way up, and this girl said to us, she was like, she said us by our names, you know. She was like, I'm not gonna say my friend's name, but she was like, Judy and Peter? And we're like, yeah. And she was like, and the first question she said is, she goes, so what careers are you guys in these days? And I thought, what a weird question to ask somebody. So we were telling her what we did or whatever, right? And she goes, my husband and I are both in insurance. And I thought, oh God, this is gonna be such a drag, right? So we went to the thing, and I remember my friend, she's so funny, and this was before, she's married now and has kids and stuff, but this is so funny. So we like had to pay like $100 for the reunion. It was really nice. It was like a sit down dinner and stuff. And so we had to pay like $100 for it. And you basically, for $100, you got dinner and like to sit around and like, I don't know, 2 or 3 drink tickets or whatever, but I don't drink and she didn't really drink. So that was a waste. And it was like in some hotel. It was like in the Omni downtown, I think. In this big banquet room. It was so boring. And then they gave us these books, right? These like, you know, like when you go to like a program, but it was like a big program. You know, like when you go to like, I'm thinking pageant, drag pageants, because drag pageants always have those big programs. But like they have them, you know, like when you go to like, you know, plays and at theater and stuff like that. So anyway, but we got one and it had literally everybody's picture in it. And it was like what they're doing now, where they live now, all this kind of stuff. So even if they weren't at the reunion, it had like all that information in it, right? So we're standing around, and then they started giving these awards out for like most this, most that. And my friend looked at me and she goes, can we please go? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And we went to Applebee's. we didn't even eat the meal it was like a piece of like dried chicken and some like green beans. It was horrible. So we didn't even eat the meal at the restaurant. We actually, so my friend that I make jokes about, we saw her and we saw some other people and they just were so like, it just was, the 10-year was so like, let me tell you how great I am, right? And we ended up hanging out with this girl like most of the night that we used to like hang out with at Woodland Bowl back in the day. That was like, she was real rough around the edges. And I see her all the time now and I absolutely love her and she's fantastic. So anyway, but she reminded me a little bit of Roseanne Barr back in the day. So we ended up going to Applebee's, and it was like this Applebee's that we never go to too. It was in Broad Ripple. It doesn't exist anymore. It's actually now Joella's Hot Chicken, what used to be Applebee's. So we went in there. I remember we sat in this booth in the very back that like kind of overlooks the river, and we sat there and we like we ordered food and we sat there, and my friend was like, we paid $100 for this stupid magazine. And we like went through each person, we went through them and we're like, oh my God, look at what they're doing now. And we literally just like gossiped about each person in that whole magazine. It was so hilarious. And then for my 20th, she and I, well, we're still friends, but we weren't like friends the way that we were at the 10-year, because she's like married and has kids and settled down and she's real involved with her church and stuff. So I don't really see her a whole lot. I don't hardly see her ever. But anyway, one night, actually I was vlogging and I ran into her at Meijer. Do you guys remember that? I talked to her, I talked about it, and she and I stood in Meijer for like 2 hours and talked. And she was like, I know you like the fountain pops. She was like, I always hear you talk about it in your videos. She was like, can I buy you so she bought me a fountain pop in Meijer. Do you remember that? And we sat there and we talked about, and it was like, I think maybe it was in the winter or something. I don't know. But anyway, so, the 20-year, I was like, I'm going, okay? And that would have been 2010. And so Alex and I had been together for 1.5 years, and I was in incredible shape again and looked good. And I was like, I'm going to this reunion. And it was outside this restaurant called Champs, and it was on their patio. And it was in the summer, and it was completely different than the 10-year. I literally walked up, and the class president was somebody that was always kind of like not very nice to me in high school, and he was just immediately like great, so gracious, and it was weird. Like I totally wasn't expecting it, and like everybody was so nice to me. I was so nervous walking in, and I went with a friend of mine from high school, and Alex, and she really kind of, I would say, stood her ground on, I probably shouldn't accept these people's apologies. I think also, you know, when I was in high school, she had really seen how tough it was. She was somebody that fought my battles for me, and she really saw how horrible they were to me. So she was really having a hard time with all these people coming up to me and basically kissing my ass. And she was really struggling with it that night. And she was like, I just don't understand why you're allowing this, and blah, 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 whatever. We kind of got into it a little bit at one point. And I looked at her and I go, I don't want to be angry. I don't want, hold on, it's going to stop. I remember I was sitting like up by this, like, they had this like stone area that had like this like grill behind it. The grill was turned off, and I was sitting up on it, and she came over and she was like, I just can't believe that you're talking to this person and that person. And I said, I don't want to be angry anymore. Like I don't have it in me. Like I just don't have it in me. And at that point, I had made up with my bully already, but he was like the only one that I'd really talked to, you know, about all of that. And I looked at her and I said, you know, like, it's been 20 years. Like, that's a long time to hold on to something. And yeah, it still does affect me to this day. 30 years later, it still affects me, right? But I don't want to be angry about it anymore. So that was the 20-year. My husband knew so many people at my 20-year. It was weird. And and I told him, I said, I want you to put, like, Alex with my last name on it, and then everybody will know you're with me. And he goes, no, I'm going to put my name, and then, because he and I graduate, Alex and I graduate the same high school, so he put his class on it. So anyway, always forever the smart ass, right? But anyway, he and I, we had such a great time, and my friend, you know, she calmed down, and we had a good time. Anyway, it was fun. So, but she made it very clear that was the last reunion that she was ever going to go to. She was like, I don't need to do this again. And I was like, okay. We talk, she and I talk every once in a while. I think she probably would go now. She's like in a different kind of space in her life than she was then, you know, and I think like, that was kind of like her first interaction with everybody since high school, which is weird because she got along with a lot of those people. I just think that she had seen how hard it was for me and how hard and then, you know, she was also somebody that was with me when I came out. She was one of my close friends when I came out. And I think that that was hard for her because she saw how painful that was for me, you know, and that the shame and the guilt that went along with that as well. I don't know. So, yeah, she's always a super protective and supportive friend. But then that was the 20 year, and then the 25 I was supposed to go to. And I was really excited, and but at my 20, everybody was so nice and so interested in what was going on. I mean, I talked to so many people. It was so fun. It was like how high school should have been for me, you know? And then at the 25, well, you know, here's the difference too, right? Like 1990 or 87 to 90 when I was in high school, the last thing anybody wants is to be associated with somebody that's supposedly gay when I wasn't even out, right? But flash forward 20 years, nobody gives a shit if you're gay, and I'm out, and I'm with somebody. I mean, nobody cared, you know what I mean? So it was like a non-issue. It's like, you know, it's so weird when I think about it. It's like, you know, in 1987 to 1990, I'm being bullied for being gay. Flash forward 20 years, I'm introducing these same people to my boyfriend, you know, who would later be my husband. And they're friendly. Like, it's weird, right? Like, that time changes that. So, if we went back in time and we took away the fact of the homophobia, then nobody would have had an issue with me and I could have had a normal high school experience. But at the same time, I don't think I would have had the friends that I had. You know, and I wouldn't have had the fun that I had I don't know, I had a different group of friends, you know, we were all very unique and different, and I'm thankful for that. So I don't know, you know what I mean? It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Do I think that I would have minimized the bullying? Sure, it was pure hell. I was scared to go to school every day. But it's weird to me when you put it in that context, right? That what you hated me for and you made my life a living hell for, 20 years later, you absolutely have no issue with whatsoever. Like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, you know what I mean? But I think that's where you have to realize that people grow up and, you know, they were kids, and I don't know, it's about forgiveness for me, you know? It's like that saying, you know, when the Oprah saying of forgiveness, that she learned that, you know, forgiveness is looking at the past and realizing that it's not being okay with what happened, it's realizing that it did happen, and now what are you going to do about it now, right? Like, I can't go back and change what happened, but what am I going to do about it now? I don't want to be bitter about it. I don't want to be angry about it. I don't want to be resentful about it today, you know what I mean? And I might miss out on some really great friendships because I'm so resistant to that. I don't want to do that. So, yeah. There was that. And then that was the 20 year. That was fun. And then, and you know, it was kind of even one of those things where, like, after it was over, like, I wish, like, I could get together with all those people again the next week, but, you know. And then the 25 was, like, a lot smaller, and I was supposed to go to that, and it was just at a restaurant up in Carmel near us, and, well, where I went to high school, but it, and they did some other things. They, like, did a tour of the new high school, and they did, like, a golf outing one day and stuff, but there was, like, a dinner, like, not a dinner, but, like, they met up for, like, drinks one night, and that was, like, the reunion, like how it had been at the 20th, and I was supposed to go, but at the last minute, it was my birthday weekend, I was asked to judge a pageant, and it was, so it was a natural and glitz pageant. I'd always wanted to judge a glitz pageant. So a glitz pageant is the toddlers and tiaras, all that kind of stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, that's what it was. And it was in St. Louis, and so I couldn't do both. And I had to make a decision, and the person that asked me, well, it was actually my friend Courtney that was in my vlog, you know, this summer, at that Rev thing. God, it's so weird to think that that was May 31st weekend. It was race day weekend, and we went, and Jason was there, and he's not even alive anymore. It's so weird to think that, you know? It's weird how life goes on. But Courtney asked me, and she said, you know, like, she called me at the last minute, and she's like, they need another judge, do you want to do it? And she knew I had always wanted to do like a toddlers and tiaras thing. So I had seen all these documentaries back in the day. I had seen Living Dolls, and that was the one that Courtney was actually in, but they didn't use, she's in it, you can see her in some areas, but she's not like a main part of it. And it was, Swan Bruner was in that one. That was like the girl that got like famous from, there's some other people in it. And, but that was all around the time of like the JonBenet Ramsey thing and like the glitz. And so that's where like the flippers, you know, the teeth and all that kind of stuff. Well, they don't really have those as much today as they used to, because they've been so frowned upon, that now they are, they usually do natural glitz. So what that means is like one day it's all natural, and this is big money that these people invest in this, and big money that they can win. I mean, I could not believe the cash prizes were unbelievable. But it's like one day they do all natural. So, and there's boys in it too. Not many, but there are some. And so they can't wear any makeup, have any hair done, whatever. They just have to wear like, it's like khaki pants and like a white t-shirt. Like they have to all wear the same thing and have their hair pulled back, you know, ponytail or whatever. Like they can't look different from the next. They can't have any makeup on or anything, and it's all completely natural. And then the next day is glitz, and it is I mean, it is unbelievable. I mean, it is unbelievable. I judged next to this woman, and I will never forget. She said to me, she was like, okay, so some of these girls would come in, we would do interview. And it was like their parents would come in with them, and they were like real young, you know, they were like 4 or whatever. And so we would ask them things like, well, what's your favorite toy? What do you want to be when you grow up? It was real sweet. And I remember this judge looked at me and she goes, like, some of these kids, like, just, you know, like, would come in and they would be like so quiet and they wouldn't like really say anything. And she would look at me and she'd be like, just wait till tomorrow. And I'm like, what? And she's like, just wait till tomorrow when you see her. And like the same girl would come out the next day and she'd be like, I mean, she's 4, right? Full hair, flipper in her mouth and everything. It was unbelievable. But that pageant was like 60-40, 60 natural, 40 glitz, because I think they're trying to do like more where they focus just more on the natural instead of the glitz. Glitz pageants are kind of going away. The whole toddler and tiara thing is kind of going away. And you know, that was such a great experience for me because I really wanted to experience it to see what the whole thing was like. And it was such an interesting experience because it was such a family thing. Like, you know, when you go and you stay in a hotel and like you see, I don't know, like a whole soccer team staying there, or like, you know what I mean? Like with athletics, traveling athletics. Or if you're in a restaurant and they'll all come in together, like you can tell it's a traveling team with all the parents and stuff. Well, these pageants are very similar to that. I was really surprised because this was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday they had like this little party and stuff, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then Sunday was the final thing. And then I drove back from St. Louis, and but they, what was I gonna say? But like, oh, their parents were there. Their siblings were there. You would see kids running around the hallways, like chasing each other, or the swimming pool was always packed, right? And the parents were like so nice. And like they had to refer to us by like our names, like Mr. and Mrs. like Peter, like Mr. Peter, you know, and whatever, Mrs. Courtney. And so like the parents would say, there's one of the judges, that's Mrs. Courtney. And they would say, hi, Mrs. Courtney. They were so polite. It was so sweet. The parents were not like the parents that I saw in those TV shows like for years. And then none of them were. Like there was not one parent standing up. Like, you know when you see the parents standing up and they're like, I didn't see any of that. Like there was none of that. They literally were standing like, or sitting down like in the audience the entire time. I was super impressed with it. And it was like, they won cash prizes, but they also won scholarship money, which was interesting to me. So it wasn't just about the money. I think it's changed a lot in the last, 20 years since all that's been going on. But yeah. So I didn't go to the reunion that weekend because I did that, which I don't necessarily regret, because I had such a fun time and I met some fun people. Courtney and I had such a blast that weekend. It was such a fun experience. And for some reason, I always remember Alex didn't come with me. There was a reason why Alex didn't come with me. I can't remember what it was. He had something he had to do and he couldn't come with me. I can't remember what it was now. But anyway, well, it was 5 years ago. How could I remember? So anyway, but yeah, I remember the bed in the hotel room was so comfortable. It was a really nice hotel. It was like, I mean, it was nothing like super fancy or anything like that, but it was like really nice. I remember it was by all these like really expensive car dealerships, and it was like tucked back in, and that was like the pageant was like at this hotel, and I was kind of surprised because it was like a Holiday Inn Express. It wasn't like a Holiday Inn Express, but it was like a Ramada or like an Embassy Suites or something like that. And then I walked in, they had like this huge bar and restaurant. Like when you walked in, it was really nice. And I remember like my hotel room, and they paid for I got paid to do it and everything. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was fun. I didn't even know I was getting paid. And like the last day, like Courtney gave me an envelope, and she's like, "This is here. They wanted me to give this to you." I was like, "We get paid for this?" She's like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Oh damn, I didn't know that." It was cool. You'd see like, so there were like girls that were seniors in high school, and that was their last year that they were doing it. And these girls had like 4.0 grade point averages. They worked jobs. They did this. They did that. Like they really had it all together, and it was super impressive. And they were all friends too. You could tell like they had been doing this like pageant circuit forever, you know, that they all knew each other. And it just was really cool. It was really cool to see them all interact. I don't know. So anyway, that's why I didn't go to my 25th. And God, it seems weird even saying 25th or 30th, but my friend went, and she was kind of pissed at first because we were supposed to go together. Not my friend from before. This is a different friend of mine from high school. This was a friend of mine that didn't get to go to any of the other reunions. So she was like, okay, I want to go. So we had decided that we were going to go together. And I think she ended up going with her. I think she either went alone or she went with her husband. I can't remember. But she had such a blast. And then I got to hear all about it, and I was pissed because I really wanted to go. And she was like, everybody wishes that you were here. And it was real small. It was just like in this restaurant bar. I mean, it wasn't small, but it was like 50 or 100 people. And, you know, like, I think I could handle that. Now, I think this 30th is going to be kind of a big deal. I'm starting to get that impression from, like, the conversation that's going on Facebook. I'm like, this could maybe be, like, kind of a big deal. I don't know, that's going to kind of make me nervous. But you know, like when you see like the Romy and Michelle and they walk in, they're all dressed up and it's like that. Okay, none of my reunions have been that big. The 10-year, well, maybe the 10-year was like there were a lot of people there. But other than that, like it's never like that many people. It's like crazy when you think about, okay, I graduated with like 660 or 670 people. Well, including me. But like, I don't think any reunion that I've gone to has had more than 50 or 100 people. Where's everybody else? You know what I mean? What happened to all of them? I think the thing that got me going when I was reading it the other day was, some of you out there will know what I'm talking about. They started putting personal jokes, okay? Like inside jokes into the thread, and it was like, oh, we should have it here, and then somebody would say, yeah, cause ... or whatever, and it was like these, I mean, they were all appropriate, they weren't like anything inappropriate, but it was obviously like inside jokes from people that had been friends in high school, like close friends, and it reminded me of the wills that came out. So if you haven't heard me tell this story on here, I'll just say it quickly. Like, the week that I graduated from high school, we did senior wills. And what that means is that you could will your friends anything that you wanted to. I did tell this story not too long ago on here because so many people were so nice about it and said, you know, I'm sorry that you went through that. Well, this one guy that was like my lead bully, And I'm sure that 30 years later, they're probably not surprised I have clear mascara in my fanny pack. But anyway, I was looking actually for my lip gloss because it's popping. But I came to school, and you could buy these wheels. They were like $1 or $2 or something like that, and they had distributed them, and everybody was reading them, and everybody was staring at me, and basically all of these football players had willed my ass to each other, and it was just really horrible. And to get around it, they used this nickname that they had for me, and it was a lot, and I'd had it, kind of, you know. And so it was the whole idea of, to me, just these, I mean, not that I don't have inside jokes with my friends, I do, you know. I even have inside jokes with my friends from high school, I just don't remember them because I'm so old. So when I read it on there again, I was like, seriously, like, do we grow up ever? You know? I kind of want a Diet Coke, I kind of don't. Pretty. If I don't, here's the thing. If I don't go, I'll regret it. And I know that. So I will go. And I already saw my friend that went to the 25th. She commented on the thread and she said I'll be there. So I'll go with her, or I'll meet her there, or whatever. Or I'll walk in on my own and I'll just be like, look, here I am. Or Alex will go with me. But I don't know that I'll have him go this time with me. You know, I'll have to talk to my friends and see, like, if they're taking their spouses. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I remember my mom, I always try to figure out which reunion it would have been for her. So, it would have been when I was in high school. So my mom graduated in 61. So 71, 81, I would have been 9. But 91, I would have been out of high school. So I wouldn't have been home. That would have been her 30th. Maybe I was just there for the day. I don't know. But, I remember her going, and she looked real cute. Maybe it was her 25th. That would have made sense, because that would have been the summer. Yeah, that would have made sense, because that would have been before I went into my sophomore year. 86 to 87, 87 to 88, 88. No, that would have been I would have been... in junior high. But I bet that's what it was. I bet she went to her 25th. Because I can see her in my head. And she had, like, her hair was like shoulder length and blonde. And she wore like these white shorts and this like striped shirt. She looked real cute. And she had like this pin. I remember she wore like this real funny, like funky artsy pin that she had. That I thought was real fun and cute. And like some sweater, like vest. It was very preppy time back then. Are these slushies new? They say new. New. Minute Maid slushie. Slusher. Do they have, maybe I'll get a cup. I don't really want a cup of coffee. I really just want a Coke. I don't even really want a large Coke. What's the price between the regular and a large Coke? Good news. Now you can order the... Hello? So McDonald's is kind of notorious for this. Well, specifically this McDonald's, that if you drive through here late at night, they just act like they're not here. And they're usually sitting out front, is what they're doing. I don't see anybody even in the store. There's cars here, so they must, I don't know. I'll go to the other McDonald's. So yeah, I will go to the reunion because I mean, I'll regret it if I don't. I know that, you know? But I can already see myself getting nervous about going, and it's not till next June. Well, they didn't even say June. They said summer 2020 on there, so. Seems weird. 30 years, God. If you had told me back then that I would be going to my 30-year reunion, I would never have believed it. First of all, I would have been like, I'm never going to a reunion. That would have been my attitude, because I was so anti-establishment. So, just punk, forget it, I'm not going. But then I think I would have also just been like, it's so funny because my friend that watches this vlog, if you're watching it right now, she had a boyfriend in high school. And I was kind of talking about it on here indirectly the other day, but I couldn't remember his name. I could totally see him in my head, but I couldn't remember his name. And then I got off the vlog, and I was like, I was like gonna look him up on Facebook, because I was like, is he married now? What happened to him? And I think she and I even actually kind of talked about it the last time that we talked. And now I can't remember his name again. I will tell you one thing that was really kind of weird, though, is that when I was going through this Facebook list of people that are going to the reunion, like, true story, you guys. Oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. When I was going through the list on Facebook of all the people that had said that they were gonna be there, I don't know, tell me if this has ever happened to you, okay? So, you know, it's all these people from high school. Now, I know that some of these people, we were friends. I know we were friends. I remember seeing their posts, okay? We're no longer friends. I don't really unfriend people. Like, I don't know the last time I have. So that means that they unfriended me. And I'm like, well, what did I do that you unfriended me for? Like, I don't understand it. And it's really random people. It's like this one girl that I like knew and whatever. And I think her husband made some homophobic comment to me. He like got drunk at the 20 year and made some homophobic comment to me, and then she apologized to me about it or something like that. And I think she said something to me about like I'm really sorry, and I was like, yeah, don't worry about it or whatever, like in Facebook Messenger. I was gonna even look it up to see if that was the case, and I was like, yeah, don't even worry about it or whatever. And then she like came back like 2 days later and like made some rude comment. And I was like, what is this? I was so confused by what was going on. I think it was maybe like, you know, some people drink a little bit and then they get on the Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's probably the best time that you want to get on the Facebook. My cousin, she likes to have a glass of wine and get on the Facebook and start posting pictures of her patio. She posted this picture of her patio the other day, and I swear to God, I thought she had it was the exact same picture she had posted about a year ago. I was like, oh, there's Caroline. She had a couple glasses of wine tonight. She's posting a picture of how pretty her patio is, which her patio is gorgeous, but I don't know why that's the go-to every time we have a glass of wine, you know? But then there was this other girl, and I know for a fact she and I were friends on Facebook, and I had completely forgotten about her because she's so on my radar, obviously. But we're not friends anymore either. And I was like, what is this all about? So I don't know. I don't ever really put anything on the Facebook that would piss anybody off, so it must just be my mere existence. People get so upset about the Facebook. Tanya's always like, did you see so-and-so post it? I'm like, Tanya, I don't read Facebook like that. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't get on Facebook like that. She's like, I see you get on Facebook. I said, Tanya, I do not get on Facebook like that. I don't sit there and just go through. And then the other day, because of this whole like reunion thing, I was doing that. But like, I don't get it. I mean, like, Tanya like gets on her news feed. I don't think she ever missed a post from anybody because she's on her news feed like that constantly. I just don't even get on there. I don't even think I posted a picture about my anniversary this year, which I always do. I did on Instagram and Twitter, but I didn't on Facebook. I don't. Maybe I did. I don't know. And then I'll have friends of mine that say, because they don't have any other form of social media, they'll say, you're never on Facebook. I was worried about you. I'm like, oh God. Yeah, I died. I wasn't on the Facebook. Change my Facebook page. Apparently you can do that now to like in remembrance or whatever. I noticed that my ex-boyfriend from like, God, 24 years ago, the one that passed away that I found out they had changed his, I don't know who did it. I don't think it's his family that didn't want anybody to know that he had passed away, which is, I think, disgusting. And we're never accepting of him being gay, which is sad to me. But his page is a in remembrance page now, which I noticed. So I was like, somebody actually like said something to him on his birthday and was like, and I saw it come up, which is weird that I'm even on there. I never get on there. I probably wouldn't even know about the reunion had I just not happened to get on there that day because Tanya told me to get on there to look at something that somebody had posted. She's like, did you see this? It's always Tanya, she's always like, did you see Judy Smith's picture of her grandbabies? They're so cute. I'm like, no, Tanya, I'm good. I don't need to see that. She's like, oh, no, but you need to see it. They're really cute. They look just like Judy. I'm like, and then she'll like want to show me a video and be this baby crawling. She'll see like, now, see here, isn't it so cute? And be like the baby crawling around the floor. I'm like, oh, it's so cute, Tanya. I have a strawberry and cream pie here. Did you know that? Can I get a large Diet Coke, please?
One away.
Thank you. Diet Coke. It's a little bit late for Diet Coke. Tanya always gets Diet Cokes, Fountain Cokes, and then she puts them in her refrigerator. And then she has 3 or 4 sitting in her refrigerator, and she never drinks them, and at the end of the week she throws them out.
One away.
You're awfully dressed up today.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
People are just leaving all kinds of trash in the drive-thru. I don't care for that. They are hustling in there. Thank you. I mean to tell you the way that she pulled that Coke off the thing and put the lid on it, and it was just like, she literally like had the lid and then she went and like handed it. I was like, that's literally magic how she did it. See, if I was looking at the moon, I wouldn't even think that that was a full moon. It doesn't even look like a full moon. Pretty though. You ready? Cheers. Perfection. So good. said this wasn't going to be long tonight. Look, it's been a little bit long. I'm ready for brunch tomorrow. This is the problem with me going to bed early, is then I'm up and then I can't go back to sleep. That's what happens. Circle K is hiring. They got signs right there if you want to go up in there and get a job. So, yeah, I'll go to my high school reunion. You got to, though, right? I mean, you don't have to, but it's kind of a little conversation from Pretty in Pink. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I'd love to watch that movie. I'd love to sit down and watch any movies. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so I'm watching Orange is the New Black tonight, and I had to turn it off. What just happened? I just, like, sunk into oblivion. So I'm watching Orange is the New Black. I'm on episode 10. And it is so sad, you guys. I had to turn it off. Like, I had to legitimately, I had to literally turn it off. Because I was like, this is too sad. It's the part with Red. I feel like this is what is making me sad about this season, is it's like, we can't have any happy, like, endings to the story, right? So I feel like they're, like, tying it all up in a way. Like, I already know what's gonna happen with Piper. I already have figured out what's going on with that, and that they're gonna, like, have her completely return back to her old life of normalcy. And I don't know, it's just sad to me. It's like, it's very realistic. It's probably the most realistic season that they've ever had. But it just makes me sad. I'm like, people are dying left and right and stuck in detention camps, and it's just all of it so sad to me. And I've only got like 3 episodes left, so I know that not a whole lot's going to be fixed in 3 episodes, you know? It's only taken me 6 months to finish this damn show. I didn't watch this season of Big Brother, and I just saw the other night that it was like, it must have been the finals, because somebody tweeted out and they said something about, oh, they just handed so-and-so $500,000. I was like, is that show seriously still going on? And I forgot that it ends in September, right? I used to watch every episode of Big Brother. Every season, every episode. I was like a super fan, right? And Tanya and I would come over to her house, and we would sit in the living room after Eric went to bed, and we would watch the after hours, or the whatever it was called, when they would like be outside and they'd be whispering and, you know, doing gameplay and their alliances and all that kind of stuff. And Tanya and I would just sit there and we would talk, and we loved that they were doing like, you know, like whispering and all that kind of stuff. We loved it. And we would watch all that. I was like a super fan. I watched every season like that. And I don't know what happened. I can't remember what season it was. It was like the last season I watched it. I just was done with it. I just was like, I can't do this anymore. This is boring. It's a lot to keep up with. The person had their brights on for days. So yeah, I'm gonna finish Orange is the New Black, and then I want to watch Wentworth, and then I think I'm gonna go back and start Mindhunter over. Like, I started it and I watched like a half a season, but everybody's telling me how great they think Mindhunter is. So I don't know. I guess I need to go in and watch it again. What is so Sunday? Saturday's the 14th, Sunday's the 15th, which we're supposed to announce our book club book on the 15th. Mel already decided what the book was going to be, so I'll have to make the video on the 15th. Well, that'll be perfect, because I'm going to do my review of the last book club book, so I'll do that on Sunday or Monday, and we can announce the new book as well. That'll be what we'll do that day. So, anyway, I'm going to get off here now, you guys, and listen to a little music and head home. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday. Unless you have other plans, but like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. You're exchanging a day of your life for, or just chill and relax and enjoy your day. And if nobody else has told you this, to spend your day with somebody that's important to you, even if it's just your dog or cat or ferret or whatever. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you say it to yourself every single day, and that you look at yourself in the mirror and you let yourself know how important you are to yourself. I love you. You are valuable. And most importantly, tell yourself good things about yourself, but most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how much they mean to you and how much you love them. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.